Did you know that today is the 8th Sunday that we haven't walked up this beautiful pathway to attend worship in our church building? For us at New Hope Presbyterian Church, stones mark the place that is special to us. For example, the stones on this hearth mark the place where we experience fellowship and relationship with one another. And this stone wall marks the place where we encounter the living God in worship. I think it would be an awesome rock climbing wall. What do you think? Well, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go rock climbing, but let's go rock hopping. Stones also mark important places in the stories of the scriptures. The patriarch Jacob, he took the stone that he had slept on in the wilderness, fleeing from the wrath of his brother Esau. And he used that stone to mark the place where God had met him in a powerful dream, telling Jacob that God would be with him always.
"Surely the Lord is in this place," Jacob said with awe. So Jacob took the stone and set it up for a pillar and poured oil on the top of it. And he called that place the house of God, because there he had experienced God's presence.
Do you remember when Joshua led the people of Israel across the Jordan River? Well, he told 12 of his men, one from each of the 12 tribes of Israel, to take a stone from the middle of the river. And he told those 12 men to carry those 12 stones with them into the promised land, where they would set those 12 stones up.
Joshua knew that the children in the camp would ask what those stones were all about.
What do these stones mean to you?
Rocks.
So Joshua told the elders in the camp, the wise parents and grandparents, to teach the children that those 12 stones were a reminder to the Israelites of God's faithfulness to them.
The waters of the Jordan parted in front of the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord. These stones are a memorial to us.
The stones were a memorial to God's faithfulness.
King Solomon told 80,000 stonecutters to quarry out great, costly stones so that he could lay the foundation of the very first temple in Jerusalem.
But Solomon was wise enough to know that even those great costly stones could not contain God, because God is so much bigger than we are, and we are humble before God. Solomon proclaimed,
"But will God really dwell on earth? The heavens, even the highest heaven, cannot contain you. How much less this temple I have built."
These stories from the scriptures show us that stones were markers of God's presence, of God's faithfulness, and of how much bigger God is than we are, which calls us to be humble before God. The first letter of Peter also uses the imagery of stones. Jesus Christ himself is a stone, a living stone. He is the cornerstone, and we also are living stones, joined to him and built into a spiritual house where God's own Spirit dwells.
Y'all are God's dwelling place.
The original readers of the first letter of Peter were people who had been exiled socially in their communities because of their faith. For people who were at home but not at home, knowing that together they formed a spiritual house gave these exiles a place of belonging. But it wasn't just for them. It was also for the world. Joined to Christ, they themselves were to be living stones, markers of all those same things that stones had marked before: God's presence, God's faithfulness, and the importance of being humble before God. Did you know that that's our calling too? What would it be like if we, together with Christ, were like living stones, markers in the world of God's presence, God's faithfulness, and of the importance of being humble before God?
This place needs no introduction. It's our beautiful sanctuary. We love to come and be in this space together. But as beautiful as it is, with our panoramic views out these extraordinary windows, with views of the mountains, is this beautiful space the church? No, it's not. But are the people who sit in these seats and pray together and sing together and learn about God together, are they the living stones that make up God's spiritual house? Oh yes, they are. This is our choir corner. How excited are we about how much the choir has grown? There's nobody in those seats right now, though. But is this choir corner the church? No, it's not. But are the people who sit in these seats and sing? And is the person who sits at this piano and plays and directs, are they the living stones that make up God's spiritual house? Yes, they are. Well, there's our pulpit, folks. It's a little bit of a mess right now because nobody's been preaching there for a few months. Instead, we have this kind of makeshift stage where we preach from the floor and live stream our services. No one's been preaching in that pulpit for a really long time. But is this pulpit the church? Nah. But are the people who lead worship from this pulpit, are they the living stones that make up God's spiritual house? Yeah, they are. This is our beautiful memorial garden. It is a beautiful place to come and remember the loved ones that mean so much to us and who have gone before us. There's no one here remembering loved ones in the memorial garden today. But is this space the church? No. But are the people who maintain this beautiful garden with their gardening skills, are they the living stones that make up God's spiritual house? Yes, they are. This is part of our church narthex. This is where we fellowship and where we also collect things for people, like egg cartons and gas cards, and where we recycle batteries. But nothing's going on in the narthex right now. But is this narthex the church? No. But are the people who bring in egg cartons and recycle batteries and make coffee and bring in other things for drives, are they the living stones that make up God's spiritual house? Yes, yes they are. This is our office area. A lot of work goes on in that office, keeping that storage supply closet stocked, and over here in this volunteer office as well. Nobody's here right now, but are these office spaces the church? No. But the people who sit at that desk and who count our money in our volunteer office, are they the living stones that make up God's spiritual house? Oh yeah. This is our great fellowship hall and kitchen. We have so many amazing monthly luncheons here together. And we have so many people who faithfully prepare meals and then wash up in the kitchen. Nobody's here right now. But is this fellowship hall or this fellowship kitchen, are they the church? No.
But the people who lovingly cook and clean, are they the living stones of God's spiritual house? Yes.
This is one of our classrooms. Here we learn about all kinds of wonderful things on Sunday mornings. There's nobody here this morning. In fact, it looks like there have been some building projects going on in here because nobody is studying here. But is this classroom as beautiful as it is with these large windows? Is it the church? No. But the people who teach and learn and study together here, are they the living stones that make up God's spiritual house? Oh, yes. This is our cool jungle gym and swing set. Nobody's playing on them right now. But is this jungle gym or is this swing set, are they the church? No.
But your staff members who secretly go outside and play when you're not looking, are they the living stones that make up God's spiritual house? Yes.
This is our church work shed. A lot of important work happens in this shed. That's where our lawnmowers are kept. Our equipment is stored and repaired there. But, you know, no one's in the shed right now. But is this shed the church? No. But Mike Garrett and Bill Epps and Bunk Span and Myron Lepro and all the people who help with our building and grounds, are they the living stones that make up our spiritual house? Yes, they are. Remember how the patriarch Jacob led the people of Israel across the Jordan River?